What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Aquaman review. I'm your host, Adam Howard. I saw Aquaman, finally, and I'm doing another movie review. Originally, I was like, because I saw the first trailer, and I'm like, this looks like a bunch of DC CG garbage, like Justice League and Batman v Superman looked like, which Justice League I went back and tried to watch, and I'm like, I made it like less than a minute, and I think I'm like, oh my god, it looks so bad. Anyways, moving on. I actually rewatched the first, I don't remember how long, of Batman v Superman. There are some good moments, and then there's some completely laughable moments. Like, there's the part where he's running through the smoke. Like, that's not the funny part. The funny part is he's like, and then there's just a fucking horse that crosses the screen. It's like, what the hell are you doing? You what? What? That doesn't make any sense. Why is there just a random horse? No. But now, with this movie, they're going for the right direction. Like, so, as of now, we have two really good DC movies. One that I haven't seen in a long time, which I really should watch again, which is Man of Steel. And then Suicide Squad I gotta watch again, because I originally liked that when I saw it in theaters, but I gotta rewatch it. What else is there? There's Batman v Superman and Justice League. There's some really good parts in it, and then there's other parts where it's like, I'll make a, where's my hand on the screen? Like, hand up. I'll make a Justice League movie for you that doesn't do that. Yeah. They're completely off the rails. Just to give you a brief plot synopsis before I go into my thoughts on it. Arthur Curry, fish out of water kind of story, but like reverse it, which is really weird. So he's like half man, half Aquaman, which is where his name comes from. And he lives on land, and he's kind of got the same attitude that he had in Justice League, where he's like, it's not my concern, blah, 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 blah. He, like, kind of helps people out, but he's kind of a dick. Which, it's the character they set up in Justice League, where he's kind of, like, cocky and an asshole and all that different kind of stuff. Where he's, like, macho, but, like, he does have a personality like Tony Stark, which is a different direction for Aquaman, which I kind of like. Because usually it's more towards, like, Superman-ish kind of thing, where it's like we all got to work together to save the day. But now we have kind of a different personality, because Batman's not like that. There's no real, like, cocky person in DC that I can think of other than, like, Booster Gold. But the fact that they made it Aquaman is an interesting choice that I believe works in the favor of the character. And this movie does so much for Aquaman, I think, in the way it tells a great origin story, even though it's really weird. So, this movie, I didn't know when it was set, but apparently after watching it, I found out Mira mentioned Steppenwolf at one point, and so it's after Justice League, which is really weird, because this is really his origin movie. But it's set after the Justice League movie, which is interesting, but I think they made it work, because he hasn't yet gone to the point where he's like, I'm gonna, like, be a hero or whatever. But I gotta go back and watch Justice League, because I don't know how that fits with the Aquaman they set up. But the Aquaman in this one, he's like, I want nothing to do with Atlantis. They want nothing to do with me. But it starts happening where the land starts getting attacked by Atlanteans, and all the 7 different armies are split up, or the 7 different kingdoms of Atlantis are all split. And Willem Dafoe's character, tries to recruit Arthur Curry from a young age to come and take over the throne, because he's the rightful heir to it. And he trains him in all the different things, like he teaches him how to swim and stuff like that. And we see all this stuff through flashbacks, which I think the flashbacks the way they were done well, because I was kind of worried that we were going to start the movie off with flashback, and then modern time. But we started off flashback, then we got young Arthur, and then we switch to modern day, and then they do things where they mirror what happens in the what happened before when he was training, which is really cool. So he's being taught by Willem Dafoe, and Willem Dafoe wants him to come back and kind of save the kingdom, but doesn't say it in so many words. But he decides to come back. So Mira visits him first and is like, Arthur, you're our only hope. And Arthur's like, I'm going to tell you nicer than I told Willem Dafoe's character's name, which I'm forgetting. And he's like, no thanks. I'm not interested. And so he's driving back. I'm kind of spoiling some shit now. And the Atlanteans wage an attack, but it isn't an attack, it's a warning that almost ends up killing Aquaman's father. So Aquaman's like, I have no choice. I have to go protect them. And he goes off on his hero's journey to become the hero, where he, instead of kind of just like the dude, he goes off on his hero's journey and he becomes a hero and well, you guys probably know this. He saves the day, which, from what I've told you, you can figure out how he saves the day or what he saves the day from. This movie, I think, the story in it's incredible. It's really, really well done. There's a few points in it that I was kind of like, that's a weird choice to make for like a kind of twist little thing that I think is a little too close to another property for my liking, but that's the choice they made, and it left for a good ending to the movie. But all the acting I thought was really good. The only couple things was the kids playing Aquaman. I thought some of that stuff was a little bit off and a little rough around the edges. But all the the other actors in it were incredible. I really liked Mira. I liked Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Willem Dafoe was good. What's his name? It looks like, I'm pretty sure it's the guy that played Ivan Drago in Rocky IV, who's one of the leaders of a kingdom and stuff like that. And all the acting in this is great. But there's a few things I would change because there's some rough stuff. Specifically, like, graphically wise, not graphics, but every time we're out of water, the sky looks jarring. Like, you can tell it's done green screen, and it's just like, there's something wrong with it. Like, they should have taken more time, but all their effects budget went to the underwater stuff, which I get. And the underwater stuff looks fantastic. I think it looks great, and one thing I think they do really well in the story is introducing us to this world the same way they're introducing Aquaman to this world, where he's seeing all this stuff for the first time and being like, that's a stupid thing, why is that there? And they explain it, and they're like, oh. And then for us as the viewer, it's like, oh, that makes sense why they do that. And I think that works really well, is showing Arthur Curry doing all these different things and being the fish out of water of Atlantis, which is really kind of a weird metaphor, or similar, or whatever. But showing him coming back and showing him all these new things is showing the viewer as well, who doesn't know about the Atlantis in this universe. And it shows us this different culture, kind of, in like this made-up culture really well, and I think they do that to a T. Yeah, all the underwater stuff is great. The only thing, yeah, like I said, the skies look jarring in some of these scenes. It just looks off. But but that's my main complaint. And it honestly, it made the ending of it looked like a video game, from how it's done. And it just doesn't look great. But the story they tell is really good in this movie, and I hate that some of those graphics aren't up to where I believe they should be, for a movie, especially a big budget movie like Aquaman. But overall, I think this movie is really good. My only other complaint is the Aquaman suit he has in it. Like, it looks dumb and out of place. That's kind of the best way I can put it. Because with this one, he does have an Aquaman suit, which doesn't make sense because he's not he doesn't go to Atlantis in the first one. But you see this one, the green and the kind of gold or like brass kind of look, which I think they should have gone with that suit. But the way they do the suit is really weird too, and it looks too vibrant for the world it's in. Where that suit, I think, is just over the top, and I think it takes away from the movie, and again, it makes it look like a video game. which is kind of not what you want in a movie. You want the movie to look real, which they do a good job with some of the stuff that's not supposed to be real, but some of the stuff that is supposed to be real does not look real. That's my big problem with this movie is, like, visually. Some of it I'm like, ugh. And another, like, visual thing, too, is this movie, I think it said it's 2.5 hours long, and literally 10 minutes of this movie is just slow-mo. Slow-mo. They use it so much, and there's so many, like, different things they do over and over again repeatedly that don't improve the film, and then just make it weirder. Like, every time they do slow-mo, it's like, this wasn't necessary. You could have just done it regular pace. There was a couple times where it was cool, but you could have just done it regular paced. What else did I have? There was this one scene when we're getting introduced to Atlantis where it zooms into his face, like, gawking at the thing. No, I'm not exaggerating here. 5 times, showing the same thing, and that's overdone. That's just, like, weird. Some of the camera angles to start are a little weird, but you're in a submarine, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, but overall, this movie, I love it. It's great. It's what I expect from DC movies. What else can I say about it? Oh, I forgot to touch on Black Manta. Black Manta in this movie, oh man, this character, I can't wait. I can't wait. We see him a little bit in this movie, not too much. We see, basically all we see of Black Manta is what you've seen in the trailer. But, I can't wait. It's so cool. The story they set up for him, and his motivations, and his technology, and all this kind of stuff. It's incredible, and it's awesome. That's the one thing that I feel most of the time that has problems in superhero movies is the villains. Where both these villains I thought were great. They were stellar. And the motivation behind them was pretty good. Yeah, you learn, like, so much about these different characters. And there's just one scene with Black Manta where we see him, like, in action, and it's great. All the action in this movie is fantastic. There's one particular fight scene, which you'll see when you go to, or when you see the movie, or if you've already seen it, you know what I'm talking about, where it's jumping back and forth between 2 different spots, and the way it does it is really cool, and how it tells that story is incredible. Some of the jokes didn't land for me in this movie. Some of them I predicted before it happened that joke was going to be made, or something like that was going to happen, and it did. It was a few times, but it was minor or it was enough for me to mention in this review. But so now, time to score the video or the movie. First score of 2019. Will it get off to a strong start? Will it be a bad start? We'll find out. Starting off for the score of 2019, the first score of 2019, this movie, I've been back and forth between 2 different scores. But in this review, I think I've talked myself down a little bit on what the score is. But, oh man, it's fucking tough. I think I'm going to go A- on Aquaman. Originally, I was thinking of going for A, but throughout the movie, I'm like, this is an A movie. And then it got to the ending, I'm like, this isn't as unforgivable as some of the other endings in superhero movies, but the way it, like, the ending's cool, just the way it looks, and I'm talking specifically, I can't give any spoilers, but it's after, I want to say it so you don't think I'm talking about the one thing, because all, like, these war scenes and massive fight scenes look really cool, but this particular battle looks like a video game, like I was talking about before, and if you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. It looks just like Injustice, and it's really crazy, and that knocked it down to A- for me, but really this it's one of the best DC movies. I have to go back and watch Wonder Woman again. I don't remember how that ended, but I remember I really liked that movie too, and both these are doing what DC should be doing, and not what Justice League is. Yeah, so maybe I'll do some more random stuff, but I'm going to be doing a 2019 like what's up or what's coming next video, which you can check out. I want to do this new show called Excited Cinema. Hopefully I'll get an episode done really soon, because I have my first episode. I have it like all in my mind on what I need to do. I just need to sit down and do it, which is my biggest problem with doing some of this shit. But Excited Cinema, I want to get another movie reviewing soon. There's this one theater I found where you can go in the morning. Like, I saw Aquaman at 9:30 this morning, which if I can do like shit like that, and then come back and just work for whatever till whatever, and then actually go to where I work, and just, if I can do that, we'll be all set. If I can just stay with it, I gotta keep a rigid schedule. I get really distracted with some shit sometimes. Yeah, so that's my Aquaman review. Like, subscribe, share down below. Go see Aquaman. It's already past Justice League at the box office, which is awesome. I think I saw it got like $300 million domestically, which is great. This movie deserves it. It's really good. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at AKHVids and Howard AK88. AKHVids, I haven't posted really that much, but I have a new logo that you should see on the thumbnail for this video. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Should have a studio tour video. That's probably end of January, though, because there's still some stuff I gotta work on. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Fuck. There's still some stuff I gotta work on. I'm still painting. There's still stuff I gotta order and get done. So yeah, that's my Aquaman review. Until next time, it's been my pleasure to serve you.